was that at a certain time of day, this little pool there at the 5 porticos would bubble up because an angel would come down and touch the water, and the water would bubble, and then whoever was in the water, the first to get there, got their healing. Just had to be first to get there. The water would also have to be bubbling. The angel has to show up. And so these 5 porticos were filled with the blind, the lame, those with all sorts of injuries. Now, for a very long time, people believed that John must have gotten it wrong. That, no, there was no pool there. What is he talking about? He's in the wrong area of town. But in about the 1800s, they discovered this little watery area, this little pool area. And what a strange place for Jesus to be hanging around because, well, unfortunately for all those folks, they're ritually unclean. They've got problems. Then the procedure is pretty clear. So first, get to the 5 porticos. Next, wait. Then angel come, touches water. Steps back, and the first one down there, healing. I imagine you'd have to do that every single day to get to be the first one. And if you were lame, you're paralyzed, people probably would not get in line to let you go first. You know, there's an impulse within this to try to manage what's going on. You know, I suppose Jesus could have come down and said, you know what? Let's build a ramp. We're going to put them on a ramp. Or better yet, you know what? Let's everybody get in line. We'll take numbers and we'll take turns. But that's not what Jesus does. He asks one question. Do you want to be made well? And with that, he completely sidesteps this bizarre, sacred bureaucracy that was going on at the sheepscape. You know, it's a lot like these folks are sitting there in that sort of, well, I hate to say it, kind of like a federal government waiting room. You know, you're waiting to see the worker, and you've got your number, and it says 114, and they're only on number 3. And then it tips back to 2, then goes back to 3, then it skips back to 2, you go to the bathroom, you come back, it's on 115. But Jesus completely sidesteps. He sidesteps this bureaucracy, this utter management of the holy, a phenomenon that really is a miracle and marvelous to think about. The idea of this image of this angel coming down and touching the water, and the water bubbles, had suddenly become just another opportunity to get in line and hope for the best, and that actually really helps people stay in place. And even the poor man who is paralyzed is more caught up in getting down to the water than his healing mission. As Christians, we are invited into, we are called into, we are encouraged into that reconciling work of love. That healing work of love. here to manage the holy, to distribute it as we see fit, but rather to reconcile each and every one of us to that loving relationship with God. And that mercy, that love, tends to break down those structures that humans build to manage things. Those systems, if you will, that, well, they make it really unfair for some folks. I mean, this poor gentleman is paralyzed. There's no way he will ever make it to the front of the line into that water before anybody else. 38 years. He's not making it there before somebody else. That is a structure that is put in place that, frankly, is not fair. And literally, with one statement, Jesus just says, take up your mat and go. We barely know where the Sheep's Gate is, where this pool is. With its magical healing power that only works one at a time, and only one person is going to get it. You know why? Because God's mercy is broader and bigger than that. And His healing doesn't just come out one at a time, dripped out for the worthy, or the clean, or the pure, but it's for everyone. And our purpose as Christians is not to, well, let's see, one at a time here. No, maybe not you. It's not to uphold a system necessarily of holiness, but is to reach out those arms in love and healing. We're moving the middleman out. We're shutting down the bureaucracy here. We're here to love. And do that reconciling work. Now, it's no accident that this story is in John's Gospel, because John is very intentional. Everything in John's Gospel is intentional. He's not just writing every single thing down, just trying to get it down like Mark's Gospel. God bless Mark. He's just writing. He just, before he forgets it. It's intentional. It is meant for you and me to pay attention to it. That God's mercy, God's healing, God's love is not going to be managed by some little institutional tweak. God's mercy, God's love, God's healing is not going to be doled out in splurts or gurgles of water, but is poured out and is dynamic. And it is a message to you and to me to be those agents of love and reconciliation. To be agents of love and reconciliation. That where we go and what we do is always for that love and reconciliation of God. And is always for that healing that brings about a return to community. A return to one another. That is what we are here to do. And that is the healing that we bring. That restores a man to strengthen his legs and to take part in his world. To go back home and rejoice and be part. We are not technicians of holiness. instruments of love. And that is the work that is set out for the